Okay. Thank you for joining us on another episode of Sheridan County Ag Update. Today I have with me Dee Dee Ware, the president of the Sheridan WYO Rodeo Wranglers. Dee Dee, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
You bet. So we're getting close to rodeo.
Yeah.
It's time for some carrying of some flags. So
It is.
Let's talk about what the Wranglers are, what they do.
Absolutely. So the Sheridan County WYO Wranglers are ambassadors of the WYO Rodeo. We carry the sponsor flags into the rodeo 3 times a night. Basically, we just give a little bit of color and a little bit of more exposure to the sponsors for the rodeo.
Well, and normally this is the part where I would ask where it gets started, but
Oh, gosh.
do you want me to take that one?
Yeah, take it on.
So Zane Garstead actually came to some of us who were on the Sheridan Cowgirls board at the time. And this was about 10 years ago, and asked if we would help to formalize the flag carriers. As Zane started to get more sponsors with the rodeo, you needed more girls, and it became an overwhelming task. Yes. So there was some of us that jumped on board, and that's just kind of how it got started.
That's what I've heard.
It was grueling the first couple of years.
I bet. But with that being said, you guys have built an amazing group of ladies between Liz and Cindy Wolf, who was president before me, and a few other ladies. Like, I don't know if they want me to name their names or not, but there was a few other ladies that had a huge part in putting together the Sheridan County WYO Wranglers and giving them a name and making them what they are today, which made my job as stepping in as president so easy. I've been on the board for about 7 years, since about 2016 as the equipment manager, which Liz thought that I was going to be a great fit on that for, and apparently I was, because I'm still there. So yeah, I mean, as president, it was super easy to step right into that position and just kind of take over where you guys stepped back. So I super appreciate everything you guys did for the board and for the Wranglers themselves.
Well, thank you. It was a lot of work, but a lot of love went into it. And I still have love for all the Wranglers and the program. Cindy and I just it was time to turn it over to new blood. Yes. And new ideas. And, that's always a good thing to have build yes. off your past, but look forward towards your future.
Yes. And the board that I have underneath me actually is amazing. And as far as moving forward, we're really looking for to be able to establish a group of amazingly talented.
Cowboy State Bank, helping farmers, ranchers, and the ag community succeed for over 100 years.
We're working really hard on trying to build an exceptional group of horsewomen and horsemen that focus on providing a positive and accepting environment for people of all ages and all horse working background to get their riding in and be able to still work on their skills. A few things that we've been able to add is we did a really nice courage clinic a couple weeks ago. And it was amazing to see the age levels and the experience of the people that were there. And we had everything from novice to cutters, cutting horses, and people were there. And it was pretty amazing to watch all of those women get together and work on everything together.
That's one thing I think that is different with the Wranglers than some of the other groups. And I think of like the Dandies and things and the Westernaires from Denver. They are just a youth based. I mean, it's just young ladies. We have had in the past, I guess I still say we, sorry. We've had as young as 9-10 years old. If they could carry a flag and they can get it through the arena, you bet, up to ladies in their 70s.
Yes.
And it's awesome to see these ladies and young girls work together. Some of these older ladies adopt these younger ones, teach them things, take care of them, watch out for them in the arena.
Absolutely.
I think sometimes people forget there's not just 40 women out there whose brains are working. There's 40 horses out there too. Yes. And trying to coordinate them all in the same direction can be a challenge.
The horses that we have seen come through that arena have been absolutely exceptional. And their riders themselves too, because it does take a lot of brain power to put them all through there and remember those patterns. And
the horses are actually harder to find than the riders, typically.
100%.
Because over the years, we've really tried to find ways to recreate things that happened at the rodeo. The chute gates banging, people walking around. The one thing that you'll never recreate is the energy that comes off the crowd. And having a horse that really can handle that, especially about night 3, you ask a lot of your horse. And we're very lucky that there's so many ladies that put themselves out there and their horses out there, and they handle it flawlessly.
They do. They've handled it very well. And the energy almost takes your breath away if you actually ever have a chance to stand out in the middle of that arena and feel it. It is absolutely breathtaking.
Mm-hmm. There's Dee Dee, and I can speak from experience of being on the ground, both of us, just that feeling when you look up at the crowd Saturday night and you're like, oh, it's a full house. Alrighty then. Well, let's go.
Yeah, here we are. Yeah. So it was, it's fun. And I really enjoy it. I wouldn't still be here after 7 years if I didn't. So
I might miss it a little bit, but
yeah, you'll have that.
It's okay. So it sounds to me kind of like that there might be some more flags that got added.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
We love it when we get more flags added to our roster of already 40 flags. We did get a couple extra sponsors. So, yeah, we're up to about 44 flags now, which is the most I have ever actually had to handle. Being equipment manager and president, I have to keep track of all those flags and make sure they get cleaned and make sure nothing happens to them. So they're all kind of like my babies. I'm a little protective of all the flags.
Yes, she is. Even the practice flags.
So if you, we do have a couple extra spots on the team. We haven't picked the team. We've got a couple open practices left Monday night, 6:00, Sheridan County Fairgrounds Arena. If you want to come ride, come ride. If you want to come see what we're all about, please come see what we're all about. Mm-hmm. Come speak to one of us coaches. There's 6 of us on the board now. We're all up there every Monday night. But yeah, if you're ever interested in it and you're on the fence about wanting to try it, absolutely, please come try it. Please come ride with us. We are a fun bunch of ladies.
Quality Kubota machinery and customer care from the heart. Proudly serving Sheridan and the surrounding area since 1996. Go online to heartlandkubota.com or stop by Heartland Kubota, 2450 Heartland Drive.
Well, and I think the important thing is if you are on the fence about it, just go try it. Doesn't mean you have to do it. If you ride out of the arena and you're like, yeah, this isn't for me, it's too much. Yep. That's okay. No judgment, no issues. We get it.
Yes.
It can be overwhelming, that many in the arena. So let's talk a little bit about, I know, thankfully, in the past, we've really worked on safety plans.
Yes.
Because you can never tell what's going to happen. We've had some things happen. Let's talk a little bit about some of those things that you've ensured for the safety factor of it.
So we actually just practiced this 2 weeks ago.
Oh, hey,
so it's timing. Really kind of fresh on my mind. But we practice very diligently in our safety measures. So we have all of the girls know exactly what to do if, say, a horse, spooks at something and a girl has to drop their flag or a flag gets stuck in a boot. The pickup men are also very good about jumping right in and helping us out if something does happen or a girl comes off. Like Liz said, we have had it happen. We don't like to see it happen, but it happens. Because the 40 girls, the 40 horses, the 80 brains at that point don't always play together. Thankfully, nobody's ever been hurt. No horses have ever been hurt. And just by the grace of God, I think that has happened at this point or not happened at this point. But yeah, we do practice a lot of safety measures. So everybody knows what to do if something does happen.
Absolutely. Well, and like you said, the pickup men that come here are exceptional. We did have an incident happen a few years ago. A young lady came off, and the pickup men were in there, had the horse gathered up, the flag jerked out of the boot, and had the horse and her out of there before I think it was a blink of an eye.
Yeah.
I was still watching girls come in the arena when I'm like, what has just happened here?
Right.
So I didn't even see it, and I was watching for it.
Yes.
So yeah, we are very fortunate that we have the caliber of pickup men that come here.
Absolutely.
For sure. And last year, if I remember right, was it last year when we had a big windstorm come up?
Yes.
And it was the first time that I can remember that we had went into the arena without flags because of the safety issue.
Correct.
And you know, the great thing about it is all the sponsors were 100% behind us for the safety of the riders.
Yes.
And, you know, you got to appreciate that.
Oh, yeah. Safety is our number one priority when it comes to those girls and those horses, because if I can't keep them safe and I can't guarantee they're going to be safe, what am I doing? What is my job at that point? So they are my number one priority for sure.
You know, I know you guys have fundraisers that you kind of do throughout the year, and, you know, we try to get those out and advertise them. We also, I know in the past, have had some very generous people donate because we started where we cook for the girls and their families, because you just can't get over to, unfortunately, with the Indian relay races, you can't always get over to get a meal and everything when you're trying to get your horses put up. So we've been very fortunate that people have donated in the past, and I'm sure that that's something you guys would be open to again.
Absolutely. We have a lady that has stepped up that says that she wants to try to cook for us all 4 nights of rodeo. Now, mind you, we like Liz said, we do feed the girls and their families all 4 nights of rodeo, and we have free drinks, free water, because the last thing we need is a girl to get out there a little dehydrated or, you know, on an empty stomach, because like we said, their safety is our top priority. So yeah, anybody that wants to help donate anything from desserts to side salads to anything, we would be more than happy. Please contact either me or anybody else on the board. And our numbers are all on the Facebook page. You can even email the Sheridan WYO Wranglers off the Facebook page, and we'll get right back to you.
Or call me. I know how to
Or
get a hold
call
of Liz. One of the things that is really nice is Dasani and Coke being sponsors. We have plenty of Dasani water on hand, which is very appreciative.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes.
And they also are good about donating throughout the year for the girls during practices. So that's really nice.
That is nice.
So I just want to take a moment and give a shout out to all my former board members who we were on the committee with. And there's a few of you, so I won't list you all, but I also want to thank the husbands
Oh, yes.
who 4 nights cooked and put up with us.
Yes, and definitely, yeah, that was hard.
And some of us were a temperamental bunch. So I want to say thank you to them as well.
Absolutely, yeah. That's the thing, is that it doesn't just involve us. As far as board members, we really involve our whole families to make everything happen. So yeah, our husbands really get kind of thrown under the bus that and it's that week, because the board members have to set up a bunch of stuff the week before. And as far as, you know, takedown and setting up of tables and cooking and stuff like that, our husbands are really just kind of our little gophers at that point, and they do deserve huge, huge pats on the back for that.
Yes, I probably, and unfortunately in the heat of the moment, you don't probably think to say that, and it's afterwards and you're like, oh, I should have thanked you. But that's my big blanket thank you to all you guys over the past few years. Yes.
Making plans for building a new barn, shop, or commercial building? Don't do any planning without a call to Sheridan's premier post-frame building and homes builder, True Built Builders, online at truebuiltbuilders.com.
For sure. Thank you very much.
So, Dee Dee, is there anything else you want to talk about with Wranglers? Like, if you don't get in this year or you don't want to come this year, when do practices start back up in the fall?
So practices are going to probably start in September. There will be one practice a month through September, October, December. December is kind of hit or miss depending upon weather and the holidays. But then we start back up in January, February, and then we do 2 in March and 2 up until the end of May. So yeah, it's a lot of practice. It's a lot of time. But like we've said earlier in the interview, like, we do like to work on more horsemanship throughout the winter. We do like to work on, if you're having trouble with your horse and you're not connecting quite well with your horse, then we really help you work on that. We help you figure out how to move your hind end and your front end. We figure out how to get, you know, things from your horse that you may not necessarily do out in the pasture or just pleasure riding.
Well, great. Well, Dee Dee, thank you for being here today.
Absolutely.
It's been fun. I love to talk about things I'm passionate about. Yes. I'm still passionate about the Wranglers. I just had to step away for a little bit.
That's quite all right.
Had to help some kids. So, Dee Dee, thanks for joining us. And everybody be sure to watch for these ladies during the WYO Rodeo. You'll see them every night of the rodeo and during the parade. So be sure and say hello. And you can join me on SheridanMedia.com for more podcasts, news, and sports.